Hello everybody, I'm Hannah and welcome to Bookshelvish. Today we're going to be talking about every single book I plan on reading in the month of April. Okay, so if you've been to one of these videos before, we're going to pick the TBR in largely the same way. I use a TBR jar. Typically I pick about 6 prompts from here. I typically read a lot more than 6 books per month. Hi. Hi, what you doing? You want to be part of it? But I pick 6 because I assume there will be books that don't make it onto the official TBR that I have to read for book clubs, for buddy reads, for, to keep up with the next book in various series that I'm in the middle of, that kind of thing. So I do have a couple of books on here. My TBR is way too massive to be able to just at large pick from it every single month. And so what we have here is kind of a combo of books that are on my 26 and 26 list. I have a whole video of those that you're welcome to go watch. I also have some books that I would like to get to this month. One of those is The Nightingale, because that is our April book club pick for my podcast Chapter Chats. Dark Age, because I've been reading through the Red Rising series with my husband. We've been buddy reading it, and we did actually start Dark Age today, a couple hours before I started filming this, but we're so close to the end of March that I don't think we're gonna finish it in this month. We've got A Feast for Crows. This is the 4th book in the A Song of Ice and Fire series, which some people best know as Game of Thrones, and that one's just next up in my list. I'm trying to read through all of them and then rewatch the show as I read, preparation to then rewatch House of the Dragon, because the new season House of the Dragon comes out this summer. Besides that, I've also got Arcana Academy on here because I've been talking about reading that with one of my friends, Magali. I've got these 2 on here because one of my goals for 2026 is to read all of the Aardvark books that I haven't read yet. I have not subscribed to Aardvark for years, and I just have a bunch of these books sitting on my shelf, so I would like to start actually finishing them. I have a Mixed Signals up top. I don't think you can see that. This is the 3rd book in the Weeds, or Love Light Farms series, and I read Love Light Farms a while ago. I read In the Weeds this month in March, and so I want to keep the momentum going, so that's something I would like to include on my TBR if I can get it. Down here we just have the rest of my 26 and 26 books, and then you can't see this super well, but this stack over here is also Aardvark books, so I can pick from those. Those are all arcs that I still have left to read. I would love to finish up all of my outstanding arcs this month. Like, that's kind of a goal that I think I want to have for myself regardless. So one of these fits the prompts great. You might notice Deathbringer I did put on my TBR for March. Didn't get to it. There's still time, but not very much. And I honestly don't have a huge interest in reading it now, which is the problem with arcs and why I've slowed down on requesting them a lot, is that I just don't do well with deadlines in my reading life. That's what we're working with. We're gonna use this TBR jar. I have not refreshed it since last month, so I have no idea what we're gonna get. But let's get into it. Our first prompt is pick a book with a green cover. Okay, so nothing down here is green. We've got 2 green options up here. I would consider both of these green. They're different greens, but they're green. So this is The Many Daughters of Afong Moy by Jamie Ford, and this is Factory Girls by Michelle Gallen. Both of these are Aardvark books, so I'm gonna set those aside as part of our options. Do we think The Nightingale counts as green? I think that's more blue. Immortal Consequences, maybe? I feel like I'd call that like pink. Yeah, call that pink. Alchemy of Secrets, also green. Oh, and I forgot to talk about this earlier, but this is Count of Monte Cristo, which I'm reading with the Chris and Mads Patreon Page to Screen Club in the month of April, so that's on there as well. Our options for green covers are Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber, Factory Girls by Michelle Gallen, and The Many Daughters of Afong Moy by Jamie Ford. I think out of all of these, they're all checking off some kind of goal that I have. We've got the 2 Aardvark books and then the 26 and 26. I think I might go with Factory Girls. I feel like it's been on my TBR the longest. It feels kind of short, and since I know I have a couple of chonkers on there for April, I think it might be nice to have a shorter book. So our first book is going to be Factory Girls by Michelle Gallen. Okay, Our second prompt, a couple got stuck together. Read something published this year. So we are actually pretty early on in 2026, so it might be kind of hard to find something that's been published this year because I think all of my 26 and 26 books were published at least last year. Oh my gosh, I'm so dumb. We have these arcs. So I should probably do Deathbringer because that's my next up arc and I tend to try to read arcs in publishing order. So we're gonna go with Deathbringer, even though I have such a bad attitude about this book. I couldn't even tell you why I have a bad attitude about this book, but I do. So read something published this year. It's gonna go to Deathbringer. Yay, okay. Let's go for prompt number 3. Hopefully I'll like it a little bit more. Freebie, choose any book you want. I love myself. Any book I want. How about we do Dark Age? Because that's already on the list and I already started it. So picking any book I want, I'm going with Dark Age by Pierce Brown. All right, fourth prompt. Read a book with a character's name in the title. These Violent Delights, Mortal Consequences, Great Big Beautiful Life, Ornithologists, Feel Good, Love, Promise Me Sunshine, Unmaking of June Farrow. So we've got June Farrow, the Unmaking of June Farrow as an option. 10,000 Doors of January, Defy the Night, Twisted Love, Nightingale, Gracier, Direbound. I don't think any of those have a name in the title. Many Daughters of Afong Moy. I'm assuming Afong Moy is a character, so maybe I'm wrong on that. Let's check. Yeah, Afong Moy, the first Chinese woman to set foot in America. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna count that. Also, I clearly lied about this. This is not an Aardvark book. It literally has a Book of the Month insignia in the corner. I still wanna read Book of the Month books though. I think I found this at a used bookstore or maybe in a little free library because I know I didn't actually get it with my own Book of the Month picks. Anyway, I think that's fine. There's definitely at least one other Aardvark book over here that would count, which is The Roaring Days of Zora Lily. We're gonna skip that for now. My options are The Unmaking of June Farrow or The Many Daughters of Afong Moy. I'm gonna go with The Many Daughters of Afong Moy, not because I'm not excited about this book, but because this one's been on my shelf for so long and I'm ready to get it moving. So pick number 4 for read a book with a character's name in the title. We're going with The Many Daughters of Afong Moy by Jamie Ford. Next pick. This is number 5, so this is our second to last pick for the TBR for April. I have read a book published in 2015. I'm not totally sure that there is going to be one, but if there is going to be one, it's going to be The Nightingale because I think it had its 10-year anniversary last year, which would be perfect. So let's keep our fingers crossed. I'm going to take out the publishing year prompts. 2015. Golden. Okay, read a book published in 2015. We are going with The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, which is perfect because I know no other book was published in 2015 that's on this list. All right, our very last prompt for the TBR jar. Read a book with a map inside. Because I am the way that I am, I'm gonna check A Feast for Crows first. I'm like 90% sure that there is a map in here because there usually is. In the beginning of Game of Thrones, this was a Valentine's Day gift book from Magali. And there it is, the map of the North. I'm pretty sure the map of the South will be on the back cover. I'm so smart. That's amazing. Our 6th and final book on the April TBR is A Feast for Crows by George R.R. Martin. So let's do a little recap on these. First, we've got Pick a Book with a Green Cover. We picked Factory Girls by Michelle Gallen. Then we've got Read Something published this year. We're going with Deathbringer by Sonia Tagliarenni. That is an arc. I believe it releases May 15th, maybe? I'd gotta check. Then for freebie, choose any book you want. We will be putting this back in the TBR jar because I need all the freebies that I can get. We picked Dark Age by Pierce Brown. Read a book with a character's name in the title. We went with The Many Daughters of Afong Moy by Jamie Ford. Read a book published in 2015. We went with The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. And for read a book with a map inside, we went for A Feast of Crows by George R.R. Martin. If you're still with us, thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for picking my TBR with me. I'm very excited to read these books and I look forward to the next time that we hang out. Let me know in the comments what you're planning on reading in April or if you've read any of these books, and if so, what you thought. I would love to hear from you guys. Thanks so much and see you next time.